Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Extreme Z battle for the fused superpower Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. So obviously this is the counterpart to the physical LR Gogeta's EZA and is an EZA for the 3rd year anniversary unit, the in Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta that fuse into a Vegito. Now super physical and extreme physical units are going to be effective here, and the category that is effective here is going to be the final trump card category. So obviously that's going to help us out quite a bit, and that's why I highly suggest that you do obviously pick up doing the EZA for the physical LR Goku and Vegeta first, because they are super helpful here. They do a lot of damage and they're going to help you clear this one a lot faster. I do think this one's category requirements are a little bit harder than the other one, especially if you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So I highly suggest that you do this one and we'll do the physical one first and then come back to here. Now in terms of their overall EZA, it is really good, and we will talk about it in more detail a little bit later on in the video. But overall both of them are really solid EZAs, and I think they're really good in terms of bringing these guys up to speed. Now I do think Vegeto's does look like it's a little bit better than the Gogeta's, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, both of them get really nice EZAs, and both of them become really solid. Remember, they still give you full heals, which is really good. So yeah, obviously there is a mission for this, clearing stage 7, and there's only 10 stages of this Extreme Z battle, with it being a legendary Extreme Z battle. We're going to be using a very similar team to the one that we used against Gogeta, and then we're just going to alter it as we go along the way. So we are going to be using a pretty similar team. Obviously final trump card wise, there are some pretty solid units that you can use across the board. Eventually we'll end up using a couple of them as options, so I do highly suggest that you do that. In terms of leads for final trump card, obviously Tech Vegito and Strength Goku Kaioken and Strength Fusion Gogeta, or the Blue Gogeta transforming unit, are some really solid leads. However, I wouldn't suggest using the Tech Vegito, but your best option is rather to just build a team out of other units using stuff like the Battle of the Wits category with the fused Goku and Vegeta, maybe Potara under the int Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta themselves, Fusion under the Fused Fighters category of Super Saiyan 4. It's just, honestly speaking, a lot better to try and build teams under other lead skills, considering the weakness of most of the leads. Now if you have Strength Kaioken Goku, that's not such a big problem for you, but I think generally speaking the rest of them are not so great. We're using a team that enables us to use the physical LRSS4 units. Generally speaking, I find them to be one of the best damage dealers and best overall units for this stage, so because I don't have them, bringing them as a friend lead is really going to help us out. We're also using the free-to-play LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. He's going to be a very solid option for us, and we're using the transforming Blue Gogeta as our lead. Generally speaking, used him during the first one, so thought using him during this one won't be so bad. And as you can see, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta generally are doing a lot of the work, so these guys will generally carry your run quite a decent length of the way. And then you're going to need to look at adjusting your options. You cannot copy this team. This team gets you to around stage 6, and then the units start to take a bit too much damage. Goten's obviously not part of the final trump card category, so there are a couple units that we're going to have to naturally substitute off of this team, just due to the change in the category requirements from the previous event. That being said, there are some decent replacements that we are going to be using, but we'll jump ahead now to stage 10 and just assess how it changes basically at that point. So yeah, obviously stage 10, to cut a long story short, they're immune to everything. They can't be stunned, can't be sealed, can't be interrupted, can't have their attack and defense lowered. Pretty much the stock standard stuff that you are faced with most max level extreme Z battles. And you can see the team has changed, obviously, from what was being used before. We've got the Piccolo now. Fortunately, he's on fused fighters. We've got the Martian Vegeta. He's very solid. Takes some damage, and he'll take damage from a super, but he's pretty solid, especially when it comes to normal attacks. And then we've got the Kefla, who's a great addition. Great defensively, creates orbs, which allows us to heal when we don't want to use them with her. And generally speaking, just gives us a pretty decent time against the boss. That's obviously the changes we made. The majority of that was due to the units not being on final trump card. Both Goten and of course Yamahan were not actually on final trump card, so we had to suitably replace him. Now Piccolo is great because he allows you to see super attacks, but generally speaking the other two units are just there to not take type disadvantage super attacks. Now you can final trump card team build in quite a few people. Like I said, there's the Goku and Vegeta Strength Vegeta unit. There's the Piccolo and Goku Exchange unit, which is pretty good. There's the Master Roshi free-to-play LR, which is obviously really solid as well. I couldn't utilize some of these units because, of course, I'm using a fused fighters friendly, but if you want to go the full final trump card build and use double final trump card leads, you have a pretty decent roster of physical units. Those physical LRs I mentioned, but you also have units like the Super Saiyan God SS Vegeta. He's fantastic here because of his countering. He'll do a high amount of damage. You've got the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You've got the Chow Man. You've got MVP 17. You've got Final Form Cooler. So you've got a lot of decent physical options that you can utilize here. And you don't have to go physical. Strength retains as well, and so does AGL. They just will take obviously a little bit more damage, but generally speaking you have a pretty decent time. Here you can see that we're going more than fine. We are taking damage, which like I said is a little bit unavoidable when you're trying to run certain kinds of teams in that, and some of the older units will tend to take a bit of damage, but for the most part you have a pretty good time. Generally speaking, it's pretty solid, the team build, and it doesn't necessarily struggle that much overall. Like I said, this physical Vegeta takes a little bit of damage, 10k on normals, and then you've got Kefla who does a pretty good job, and you also have the LRSS4s who very much hard carry the run still. You've got their active skill, you've got their transformations, you've got a lot to utilize. You don't really need to panic too much, especially if you are taking a LRSS4's friend, which I still suggest is the best option, especially if you don't have ideal units. Try and build a team around taking them as the lead. It's generally speaking the best call. You're going to get the most out of this whole situation basically. So for me, I found that to be the best just from my perspective, but I mean to each their own pretty much. You can run whatever you want realistically speaking, but yeah, to me I found this to be the best running team. I really enjoyed using it, and yeah, overall I just had a really solid time. So yeah, for me really good. Basically good time. Wasn't too hard overall. I definitely think easying the physical LR, Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel was the way to go. It definitely helped with the run, made it a lot better overall, a lot smoother, gave the team a bit more stats, and yeah, I think it was just a much more solid selection realistically. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously claim your mission if you've cleared up to stage 7. And then you can go about and finally awaken your LR Super Saiyan Super Saiyan Vegeta and Super Saiyan Goku, which is really awesome. So that's a really nice perk. Obviously, it's great to easy air them. Remember, you want to get their SA to 25 because you need all the additional effects of it as much as you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know. Let me know if you guys need any more help. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment if you need any more help on team building. I'll gladly reply back. But thank you guys so much for watching, and bye.